Welcome to a well-designed home podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Brunk, Principal Interior Designer at Timeless Designs by Melissa. We are a premier, full-service interior design studio serving Sioux Falls, South Dakota, the Iowa Great Lakes, Mankato, and Rochester, Minnesota. Our mission is to create enduring, bespoke homes that celebrate a life well lived. With over 20 years of industry experience, we craft personal havens where every detail reflects the essence of your family, evoking feelings of joy, belonging, and pure delight. Join us as we transform the building and remodeling industry, one home at a time, because there's no place like your home. Welcome to today's podcast, A Well-Designed Home. I am your host, Melissa from Timeless Designs. I am the red shoe wearing interior designer because there's no place like your home. Today we're talking with Aaron from Pro Service Electric, and we're going to talk about some really cool lighting features and then electrical. So it's what keeps your lights on, right?
Yep.
All right. Aaron, who are you and what's your story?
I'm Aaron with Pro Service Electric. I guess, where do you want me to start with my story? I know on the questionnaire, like background.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, I come from an electrical family. I got 8 brothers, 1 sister. Dad started his business when I was about 5 years old. So kind of instead of going to daycare, I went to work with Dad and
Nice.
kind of in my blood. Worked with him throughout middle school and high school, and actually went to college to be a history teacher. And after 2 years of that, me and my wife decided we were going to have kids, stuff like that, and fell back on my electrical trade, went and worked for my brother at Connect Electric. And then after 5 years of that, I went and worked for Muth Electric. And then another 4.5 years later, and just decided that it was time for me to go out on my own.
Nice. And here you are.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about electrical first.
Yeah.
What do people need to know about electricians and what you do for the home?
Yeah. So with my business specifically, we created Pro Service Electric as a service-based business. So we specialize in working on small repair, working with designers going into the home, making their renovation or remodel their own, making their dream come true kind of thing.
Sure.
So we work from as simple as changing out an outlet to full panel change outs, remodels, a little bit of everything.
Pulling the wires.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Commercial too, or just
Yeah,
residential?
commercial and residential.
Okay.
Yep. So with my background at Muth Electric, I was a service technician for several facilities around town, and it's something that I kind of want to have multiple avenues. So we'll have commercial aspects, residential aspects, and then we're really making a big push to get into new construction.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So new construction.
Yep.
As people are planning their home, what sort of things do they need to be thinking about?
Oh man, that's where it's super important to have people like you in place that can kind of paint that picture for them. We do use a software called Bluebeam where I can kind of design some pretty minimal, just kind of put lights in place. And I've worked with enough designers that I know where placement and stuff like that should be. But just having the right contractor, having the right people in place is huge.
Building your team.
Yeah.
So important. So with the Bluebeam, does that create a lighting plan, the electrical
You can
plan?
create any plan. You basically will take a plan from a builder, and I can figure out where my electrical equipment's going to go, pull all my measurements, kind of have a very in-depth quote put together for my customers so we know exactly, almost down to the inches, how much wire we're going to use in that project.
Nice.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
All right. So how long have you been in business then?
2.5 years, so
Okay.
or just shy of 2.5. We launched, it was September 1 of 22.
Okay. And so what goals do you have for this year?
For this year,
Yeah.
my goal So we partnered up with, and we're going to be getting to the permanent pixels. So we partnered
Yeah.
up with Matt out of T, doing permanent pixels, and it's kind of accelerated our growth a little faster than
Little
I
bit.
thought it would. So we're planning on. I want to have 4 to 5 technicians. So we have three techs, including myself.
Mhm.
So we're planning on bringing on another 4 to 5 techs this year. Trying to have 4 guys run the permanent pixel division and then still maintain our new construction and service as we go.
That's
So
pretty
it's just
wild.
crazy how much growth there's been. There's been a lot of ups and downs where we're busy, and then I wouldn't say we're slow, but there's just been some downtime.
Mhm.
And with basically after the election, everything exploded. It seems like we
Mhm.
got work coming out of our ears right now. So
Yeah. So between new construction and renovations, what percentage are you? 50/50?
no, I would say we're probably like 75-25,
Okay.
but we're gonna be pushing more to be 50-50. I think we have 12 homes planned as of right now for this
Nice.
this year, so but with us being a three-man shop, we need to grow too, so,
Right,
yeah,
right.
to be able to bring on more.
Yeah. Okay. So for renovations, what do people need to think about as far as electricians go
As
for projects?
as far as electrician goes, well, I think really, again, the proper fit, bringing in someone like myself who can come in here. I've got a lot of experience where I can come in most situations and just kinda know how a home's wired, if it was based on the decade, if it was switch loop, knowing how circuitry's pulled
Mhm.
and having the ability to, "Hey, we can instead of ripping out these walls, we can fish in wires this way, that way, anyway."
Mhm.
But just experience.
Mhm. Are there limitations?
There are, but I did custom homes for about 5 years, and you get pretty good at
Figuring things out?
figuring things out, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Um, so anything else you want to cover on electrical specifically?
No, I think we covered.
Do you get to pick out the light fixtures?
Typically, I'm working with a designer. There are some cases that I do get to pick out light fixtures.
Nice.
I don't like picking out anything fancy by any means. I'm big into recessed lighting.
Uh-huh.
And then just having those subtle, like nice, not chandeliers, pendant lights over your or your dining table, or
Yep.
I am totally botching that.
I know what you mean.
Over your island and picking
Yes.
out like a chandelier for over the tables, but I try to
Yeah.
leave that to the professionals.
Yeah. So lighting is really, really important in a space because for one, it can make or break a space.
Mhm.
Dimmers are really great
Yeah.
because you can adjust the level of lighting. So if you're having a dinner party, you can have those recessed wafer lights. So when the dinner party's over, you can clean everything up. But then
Mhm.
having your chandelier or whatever fixtures selected, you can have that on. You can have it on a dimmer, have a really moody dinner party. Um, but layering lighting is so, so important. And that's part of the preparation is knowing where things are going to go, how they're going to function, how are you going to use the space
Mhm.
so that you can wire it correctly the first time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I would 100% agree with that. I always tell people too much light isn't a bad thing. You can always
Right.
slap a dimmer on it. So,
Right. Yeah. Wafer lights are really amazing. So
yeah,
those are fairly new to the market, but it's
it's kinda
amazing.
taken over the market. We actually don't even use recess cans anymore. It's
Mhm.
pretty much all wafers just because you would run into just different rooms if they have that, recessed ceiling where it's built in there, the framing would be different where you couldn't get a layout perfect,
Mhm.
and that's the thing I love about wafers is I can lay a room out 100% perfect every time.
Yeah, you don't have to contend with anything. You
Yep.
can just put them in.
Mhm.
Because there's nothing worse than having one light offset than the rest or whatever it is.
Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Permit pixels.
sure.
Shall
Well,
we chat about
yeah,
that?
let's go for it.
Okay. So, new product to the market. And for Sioux Falls, pretty awesome. What is permanent pixels?
So, Permanent Pixels is a product that was, created by Matt Braden out of T.
Hmm.
We partnered up with him here a little over a year ago, and, it's funny because I never knew, permanent lighting was a thing for exterior homes,
Right.
and, I thought this was the first first of its kind, and to find out there's several companies that do it around here. But there are several things that set him apart.
And those are?
Those are his spacing on his like the spacing of your pixels. You're getting
Uh-huh.
more pixels. He's got like a dozen different track variations where we
Mhm.
can do different style homes and make it look great. Where you're not going to see a track on the house. You're just going to see those pixels hanging down past the soffit.
Yep.
Um, Gosh, I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, just
There's an app, and so
there.
you
Yep.
can program it to your sports team, your whatever. Can it go to music too?
Yes. There's several other. I kind of call him my mad scientist. He's always creating something else to go along with the product, which is, I think his end goal is to have a whole home system. He's got under cabinet lighting where you can do your under your cabinets in your kitchen, your toe kicks.
Mhm.
We're actually doing a remodel, and I'm going to really explore a lot of the options with it, just because we haven't delved into that yet to see
Uh-huh.
how it functions. He's got it in his house, but
Nice.
um, it's just the opportunities are endless with it. He's working on the music where you can play Christmas music as people are driving by, and it'll go to the music.
That's
And
pretty
say
awesome.
you're having a graduation party or something else, you could
School colors.
school colors. I live right next to the high school in Hartford,
Uh-huh.
and when the high school football team walks by, we run their colors because they walk
Nice.
by our house. So just it's a lot more than just Christmas lights, and that's what I always try to tell my customers is, especially if you're gonna pay me as an electrician to come in and add, like, exterior lighting on your home,
Mhm.
as this is a dual featured product. You're
Mhm.
like, we live in a bicentennial home. We don't have any perimeter lighting. We added this, so we have can lighting or perimeter lighting around our house.
Mhm.
You have every major holidays programmed into the system where you can make it fun for your neighborhood, especially if
Right.
other people are getting the product. Um, you're a big sports fanatic. They have every major sports team.
Mhm.
And if they don't have your sports team in there, you can go in there and custom make an event for that team.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty cool.
mhm.
So, for preparation for that, someone's looking to do that, what do they need to prepare for ahead of time?
What do they need to prepare for? Really, it's just getting a hold of us, getting us out there. We can measure out your home. The cool thing that I love about this product is it is a little spendy, but it's something where we can install that controller and we can do as little as you want, or we can do your whole entire house if you'd like.
Mhm.
It's an expandable product where you can work with your budget or the customer's budget and go as they can afford it, kind of thing.
So then as the toe kick lights and the other lights come on, is it still the same app?
Yep, same app,
Nice.
so we call them our zones, so you pull different
Mhm.
sections and different zones. So you go onto your app, you could name it under cabinet lighting and just have that programmed for certain hours, so you can pre-program your entire year, and you could forget about the app if you didn't wanna mess with it. You could set up
Nice.
every holiday, every feature you want. I just walked through with a guy yesterday, and he's doing the under cabinet lighting, and he's like, "We just wanna set it from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock in the morning when they get up, so they have lights,
Yeah.
and, again, then you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, there's
But
no on-off switch that you're monkeying with,
yep,
it's just ready to go.
yep.
Alright, anything else on the permanent pixels?
Oh, there's a lot with it. Like I said, I really like to emphasize that it's not just Christmas lights,
Mhm.
because I think it's a tough pill for people to swallow when they go, "Oh, man, this is the cost of it, and I'm just paying for Christmas lights." What I like to tell my customers is it's pretty much a 5-year investment. Like, if you're paying for somebody to install your
Yeah.
light or your Christmas lights every
Mhm.
year, after 5 years, it'll be paid off. But then I really wanna emphasize that it's multi-usage. It's security lighting, so if you do have cameras on your home, people you can see what's going on. I think each pixel I don't wanna say it specifically because I think I'm wrong, but I wanna say it's like 2,600 lumens
Okay.
per pixel. And I'm probably wrong on that. But
Ish.
it's a lot. It's more than a 6-inch wafer is what they put out for lumens, so it's a
Yeah.
crazy amount of light. Um, yeah, I think it's like 300 pre-selections of pre-programmed settings, and then you can go in and customize and make anything you want. Each pixel's
That's the
programmable
coolest
where
feature.
yep. So on my house with the bicentennial deal, you can go in and you can pre-program each individual pixel. So you can make it really look like recessed cans, where you
Mhm.
can do your first 3 pixels, give it like a 20 spacing or 40, however much you want to space it out, and then it looks like can lighting on the exterior of your home.
So then you just have some of those off, some of them on, and
Yep.
you just tell it what that combination is and away it goes.
Yep.
Okay, so the spacing on the pixels,
Mhm.
other products I've heard are like 12 or 18
It's
inches.
6 to 12 is the standard,
Mhm.
from what I've seen. Again, I'm still kinda new to the permanent lighting, even
Uh-huh.
being in it for a year. I'm not familiar with the other people's product, but that was just being at the home show and seeing some of the other product. That's what really stood out to me, is
Mhm.
that there's more, possibility with having more lights.
Yeah. 'Cause the light spacing is 3 inches?
3 inches, yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so you have a lot more lights, a lot more options to do fun
Yeah,
things.
fancy designs, whatever you
Right.
wanna do with it.
Yeah. All right, so you talk about your goal already?
I think we
Yes, we
did.
did.
Oh, let me backtrack because I did talk about his other product that he has.
Oh, yeah.
He has the under cabinet lighting. He has, you see it a lot in like pergolas where people have
Oh,
those, they almost look like an Edison bulb.
yes.
He's got those hanging lights that you can tie into the system. And then he's got landscape lighting as well. And I don't know what else he'll create next, but he's
Time
always
will
thinking of
tell.
something. Yeah.
Nice. So then those will be part of the app, different zone.
Yep.
So you can so landscaping lighting is really where you can add drama and make it look just crazy as far as the lighting at night. And so being able to change that into uh something super dramatic besides just warm white or whatever.
Well, just imagine Halloween, kids walking up and you have landscape lighting and the lights are flashing and it
Yes.
just kinda give you that spooky feel. There's just a lot of opportunity with it.
Endless options.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great point. Halloween, that would
Yeah.
be
That
really,
was,
really
I got
fun.
mine done right before Halloween and it made it fun, so
Nice. All right. So for the electrical side of things, um, what is a misunderstanding that maybe the general public has about electricians and electrical work?
man, my head instantly goes to that we're all messy, but it's not true. That's, I guess for me as a service professional, and I guess this really doesn't follow your question, but I guess my goal when I walk into anybody's house is to make them feel comfortable. My wife has a huge thing where she's super uncomfortable when anybody comes into our house.
Mm,
So just making people feel comfortable. It's,
sure.
we're here to serve you. This is your home. We want you to feel that comfort. Gosh, I can't think of any stereotypes other than that we're messy. I
Yeah.
literally have people ask me not to clean up because I take it to heart, and it's just being in service, I like to go that extra mile.
It makes a huge difference on
Mhm.
a job site. How many people are in a job site in a day, in a week? And then if everyone's just leaving a disaster, it just gets way out of hand. And then, I mean, if everybody just
Hey, spend 10 minutes
cleans,
every day
yeah,
at the end of the day, it
exactly.
goes a long ways.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Uh, Clean work zones or safe work zones are
Yeah,
enjoyable places to be. Yeah, yeah,
especially when you have homeowners walking through at the end of their day to check out the home, see the progress that was made. It just
right.
it makes us look better as professionals, and it, like you said, it's safer workspace, and just people are excited about their project. They wanna walk around. Remember
Check
being on
things out.
a job with my dad as a kid, and I ended up getting a nail in my foot and having to go to the
Oh,
emergency room, but so it's just the little things like that. They're coming with their family, they're checking out the progress, so it is important.
yeah. Do you do electrical walkthroughs with your homeowners?
Yes.
Yeah. Where switches are going, who's right-handed, who's left-handed, all of that?
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
No, we go through every nook and cranny and move it about 5 times, but yeah.
Yeah. Um,
That's the fun thing about when people are doing this, like, I'm really experiencing it now that we're remodeling our house, but it's
uh-huh.
just, you have an idea, and then I'm talking with my wife, she changes her mind, she says something or shows me a picture on Pinterest and wants to do something different, and it's just, there's constant change, and that's where we wanna be there to just work with you and make it what you want it to be.
Mhm. Right.
It can be frustrating sometimes, but I get
Right, but
it.
it's a fluid process where I mean, sometimes it can be planned out to a T, but then something on site happens, something has to get changed or whatever, and then suddenly you have to I it's sort of that domino effect where one thing leads to another, and
Mhm.
so, um, being flexible is part of the job, right?
Yeah, well, and that's where I do really enjoy when they have a designer because then you guys are taking care of a lot of that design aspect, and things still change, but it
Right,
just cleans that up a little bit.
right. Yeah. So then what's the best thing that you do? What's the best thing about what you do?
The best thing about what I do is, I am super passionate about service. I say I'm not in the electrical business, I'm in the people business.
Mm, mhm,
I'm a big believer, and it's funny because I went to school to be a history teacher, and hated electrical because my dad was an electrician, he was never home. I was like, "Man, I don't wanna do this," and came back, fell into it, and I just think it's where I'm supposed to be. I
mhm,
love getting to meet clients, build a relationship with them, and then I have customers that I'm pretty sure I'll be serving in 30 years because
mhm.
we've built up those relationships, and again, with the comfort level is I go in, I talk to people, I talk to them about my family, about their family, get to
Mhm.
know them on a personal level.
When you have a unique position in the building part of things because you're coming in and doing rough-in,
Mhm.
and then once everything's done, mostly, then you're coming in and installing the switch plates and the light fixtures, and so you get to see the sort of pre, in between, and sort of post-construction where it's done, so that's probably really exciting to be able to see all those different phases.
Yeah. Well, and that says we are growing, and that's where we're trying to make a bigger push into new construction because that's where the best training takes place is getting
Mhm,
your guys into a new build. They get to witness it from the ground up. Everything makes sense to you then. You
mhm.
get to see, hey, this is why we do it this way. So then when I do get them into my service department and they're troubleshooting something, then they can see, oh, this is how it should be done, or this is why
Right.
it's ran this way. And it makes it easier
The f
troubleshooting stuff.
Yeah, the firsthand experience
Mhm.
on site. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Alright. Uh, okay, this is a good one. Piece of advice for the community.
Piece of advice for the community. This one wasn't on my practice sheet. Um, gosh. Um, I guess just, being a service professional, I would say choosing your contractors wisely. I
Very
don't
well
wanna
said.
say that in a bad way, but there are people who are good fits for certain projects, like doing
Very
your
true.
research and
Mhm,
making sure you're getting somebody who's a good fit for you.
mhm.
Mhm.
Very true, because like I have always said and will continue to say, we're not going to Macy's, we're not picking out a top.
Yep.
When someone's remodeling, renovating, building new construction, it's a fairly long process, and
Mhm.
so you have to get along with whoever you're working with because spending a lot of time with them.
Yeah. Well, and I've just come into certain situations where somebody was unhappy with a previous electrician, and we come in and they're very happy about it. But again, it's just a lot of people I feel like are in a big rush to get a lot of this stuff done.
Mhm,
And doing your research definitely is gonna save you a lot of headaches.
mhm. So take time and interview and
Hmm.
well vet your
Yeah. Well,
team.
and I know not everybody wants to come out and give quotes and stuff like that, but go through, do the whole process, get a quote from everybody, and they might not be the cheapest, but cheapest isn't always the best. So,
Right,
yep.
right, for sure. That makes so much sense because if you're doing your project based on the lowest bid, you're always gonna get what you pay for,
Mhm.
and so with your home, it's a huge investment, and so rather than, um it's a huge investment, so do it right and well the first time, and as long as apples are being compared to apples, that's also very important so that you're not having one electrician do these things, and then you've added and this other electrician's doing others, so then, you're gonna get skewed bids from
Yeah,
each
and I found
place.
in a lot of situations where we run into stuff like this is say we went the whole 10 or 9 yards and quoted every item,
Mhm.
they might have been missing that, and then they come back and they charge you more anyways. So you end up at the same quote, if not higher. So
Mhm.
making sure that everything was included and that having detailed estimates is very important.
Mhm. Very much so. Right, anything else on permanent pixels?
Oh, I feel like there's a lot of stuff, but I feel like we covered what I
The
can,
most part of it?
yeah, for the most part.
Yeah. So if you come out and measure and someone wants to order it, what's the lead time?
Lead time, so normally it's 2 to 4 weeks. It just depends on actually, so all of their product is made in the United States.
Mhm.
So the Hooterites actually make all of their track, and,
Mm.
I can't think of the, I'm just drawing a blank. It's a facility here in town that manufactures their boxes. Matt makes everything, or he programs and sets everything up here. Um, so it's he's installing and manufacturing, so sometimes it
And the
can,
creative
yeah, that's
genius
where
behind it.
if in a perfect world, it'd be 2 weeks, but I'd say 2 to 4 weeks.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
still not too bad.
Yeah.
And so you're the people that are installing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, us, and then there's Hoppy Roofing, which they're on the east side of Sioux Falls. I think they're kinda primarily commercial. They do commercial roofing.
I've noticed that on a lot of commercial buildings recently, and it really makes the buildings quite
Mhm.
stand out. It looks
Yep.
great. You can put your company colors on there. It's really very nice.
Well, Matt probably doesn't want me saying this, but he does the signs. He does, like, he doesn't like doing them, and I don't think it's a part of his business, but
Yeah.
we have lots of other things you can do to make your business pop with
Mhm.
along with that. We just did a building out in T called Pink Hoodie, and,
Mm.
they rock pink lights all the time. Just
Yeah.
it's a part of their brand, so,
Love it.
yeah, it makes it really pop.
Cool. Okay. Um, anything else?
You're out of questions on there already?
No.
Oh, okay. Nothing on that then.
Yeah. Okay. Um, where can people find you?
Where can people find us?
Yeah.
All right.
Or get a hold of you.
So we are actually, it's painstaking because I'm not the most techie, but
Uh,
we're starting a new CRM tool, and we're gonna have a lot of different ways to get a hold of us coming
Perfect.
up here soon. Best way is directly through me, by my cell phone. So
Okay.
605-360-2402. Also for people who are on the go or it's late at night and they realize something came up, they can send us a service request directly through our website, and that is pselectricsd.com.
Okay.
So PSE is our logo and electric. So
Nice.
um and then Facebook's another big one. Honestly, we get a ton of traffic through Facebook. So
Mm.
that's just Pro Service Electric at Facebook.
Okay.
So
Are you on Instagram at all?
I am. It's kind of funny. I was told I shouldn't share. It's like electric dad something. I mean, it's not all that important, but it's something that I've been told I should change it and make it more professional, so I can direct people that way too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I was just thinking, so for the permanent pixels, are there different finishes for those tracks?
Yes, there are.
Probably need to cover
So
that.
we talked about the different style of tracks. I think we start out at 3/4 of an inch, and then it goes all the way up to 2 inch. And then for homes that have like a bigger fascia
Uh-huh.
on the lip, we have a 90-degree track. So again, where you're just seeing the pixel, you're not seeing a bunch of track going, what the heck is that?
Mhm.
Um, and then it's 26 or 29 different colors is what we have.
Okay.
So we've got copper, we've got clay. It's like it matches basically the majority of your common colors for your
Sure.
soffit. Mhm.
That's a lot of colors.
Yeah.
What has that always been that many? I've
As long as I've been a part of it, that it has
really
been.
I was thinking that there was just a couple of colors, but
Oh, no.
no.
We can
No.
match anything.
Match or contrast or whatever it might be.
Yep.
Mhm. Okay. Um, yeah, I think that's all I have.
All right.
I'm so glad you came in. I mean, electrical really, I mean, like I said earlier, you guys do keep the lights on, and so you make all of our work as builders and designers look really great because without lighting,
Mhm.
we would have little candles.
It it
We
well,
wouldn't be able to
it
see.
it really makes a space.
Yes,
Like
it
you said,
does.
it is in our house, we didn't have any lighting besides 2 fans in our living room, dining room, and just adding a couple wafers in there and really honestly, that's one of the cool things about what I do is I go into a lot of spaces like that and
Yeah,
just
a lot of homes that
it
don't have lights.
it transforms that space
Yeah.
where it's like, "Hey, this is our living room, this is where we hang out all the time, or our dining room, and we're eating meals together," and just to really brighten that up, say, "Hey, now we're playing more board games at the kitchen table, we're doing stuff like that because the space is more functional."
Mhm.
And that's where I really enjoy doing basements and making that space their space and little reading nooks with puck lights and tape light in there where
Yeah.
you can design your home 100% how you want it.
Yeah. Has there been in all of your projects like a super unique electrical installation that you've done?
Oh man, we've done a whole lot. I was just talking to Matt about this because we can do this with the permanent pixels where there's like pressure sensors where you can install them on the bottom of your steps and you can light your stairs. So the minute you take a step on that first step,
Sweet.
your lights turn on. You can program it to where it'll run for as long as you want. You want it to run for 30 seconds. You, we've done situations, not with his product, but
Uh-huh.
others where you step on that, it turns on, and then the lights are turning off as you're going down the stairs. So
Cool. Okay, so for something like that, what do you have to do ahead of time? There's got to be something.
it's knowing that you're going to do that because there's lots of control wires, pulling your
Mhm.
low voltage cables, stuff like that. So it's just all in the preparation,
R-
knowing, seeing what you want, or having somebody paint the picture like you
Mhm.
paint that picture for them that this is a possibility, and just preparation.
Is there restrictions on flooring for that pressure sensor?
So you can adjust the sensitivity to where basically you drop a ball on the ground, it's going to detect it, or your kids are walking down the stairs,
Mhm.
you can adjust the sensitivity. I would say, well, if you have like carpet stairs, we can't really do that. I mean, I'm sure we could if we get creative and cut into that carpet, but
Mhm.
not something I really
No.
want to do.
Right.
So I would say hard surfaces.
Okay.
hmm
That's really cool. Any other cool installations?
Man, we've done so much stuff with because with Connect Electric, it was trademark complete. I've done elevators, whole home generators, and all of it is just kinda like, man, I wish I could have this at my house at some point.
Goals, right?
Yeah.
Home goals.
But
Cool.
I don't know, too many things to think of.
All right. Do you have a website
Yeah.
and you have some applications on there, some different projects you've done?
So it kinda just highlights, our major services and, it's pretty basic. It's kinda just a touchstone people to see us. We've got some description of the permanent pixels on there,
Mhm.
other services we provide are residential and commercial. So, but that and then, like I said, Facebook is our major traffic is where most people see us.
Okay.
So, I guess,
Check
we
Facebook
do
out then.
daily posts on there, either electrical questions, what's going on, our team, the background of my employees, stuff like that, what projects we're working on. Something we're really trying to work on so people can get an inside look and see what our day-to-day operations looks like.
Yeah.
We'll do questionnaires, random electrical questions, or what's your favorite thing about Sioux Falls? And
Nice.
yeah.
One thing we didn't talk about, and I was gonna bring it with me and I didn't. Different Kelvins of light, the
Yeah.
different color.
Yep.
So what do homeowners need to think about for that? Because that really makes a huge difference on how things look.
It makes or breaks your space, and
Mhm.
it's funny 'cause, my whole family being an electricians, we all have different perspectives on what's the best light.
So,
I'm a 35K
uh-huh.
guy.
Okay.
I think that's the sweet spot. That's where most spaces look great. There's obviously you're in a commercial space, you're gonna do that 4,000 to 5,000,
Mhm.
and some people are just weird and they they like it in their homes. Um,
They like to see.
yeah, oh yeah, I'm just being funny. But, yeah, no, it really makes or breaks your space. Like, when you are going through like, honestly, in my house, we have different Kelvin value, and it drives me nuts, but,
Mhm.
again, I always say your kitchen and your bathroom should be the brightest places in your home. So
Mhm.
I have a brighter Kelvin value in my kitchen to make that space brighter. And then
Mhm.
we have warmer light in our dining and living room to make it more relaxing.
Warm and cozy.
Yep.
Yep.
And again, in the bathroom, we have 5000 K just so doing makeup
You got to
and
see what you're
you
doing.
got to see what you're doing in
Mhm.
there. And that's another big thing with like tape lighting on the bottom of your counters. You think of you're chopping vegetables, you're preparing meals, and just having the right kind of light down there.
Yeah, and that's so much about the layering the lighting because there's ambient lighting, which is your whole room of light, and your accent lighting, which could be in really cool plants lights. But then your functional task lighting is that under cabinet where it, it it makes such a huge difference if you're chopping vegetables, if you're making sandwiches, being able to have that little bit of extra light, you can see what you're doing. It's
Yeah. Well, and with
huge.
the dimming capabilities we have now, and um, we use ours as like night lights
Yeah,
in
exactly.
our house.
Yep.
They're multi usage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love it. Lighting's great.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
um, no, I'm on the spot, so I can't think of anything.
Okay. Well, I'm so glad you came out because this is great. Sharing information about electrical work and permanent pixels, which is a really great product. I think I'm excited to see how that grows and how you grow with installing and
Oh
servicing.
yeah, I see this. Oh, it's relatively new to the market, and I
Hmm.
really see this exploding, and I see us kind of exploding with it.
Hmm.
Hmm.
They were at the Builder Show last year,
Yeah, no, we're
the
planning on.
International
Yeah,
Builder Show.
yep,
Pretty amazing.
we're planning on. I know he's talking about going to Fargo, going to Sioux City. I don't know if it was Yankton. There's another one in Sioux Falls here, so he's
Hmm.
planning on doing quite a few of them.
Good exposure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I know he's looking for more installers because I think they have got installers in Colorado, South or North Carolina. I think it was 2 in Colorado. He's got a couple other states too, but he's
Mhm.
looking to grow that.
Yeah. Cool. So if anybody's looking to install as
Yeah.
an electrician,
Well, and that's the thing about this is it's all low voltage. It's all 12 volts. You
Mhm.
don't even technically need to be an electrician to do it.
really?
Yeah, so this is something we just added to our arsenal, and again, I didn't think it would grow to what it is,
Mhm.
and, it's just become another tool in our pocket, if we're designing a home for somebody and they want to incorporate that, then we can provide that.
It's a really great option.
Yeah.
Mhm. Right. Well, thanks for coming out
Yeah,
and
thank you.
sharing your knowledge and your insights.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Hopefully, I didn't do a bad job.
No, you did fine. Thanks, Aaron.
Thank you for tuning into a Well Designed Home podcast. We hope today's episode inspired you to take the next steps towards creating the home of your dreams. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. New episodes are uploaded every Friday afternoon for your listening delight. We'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review to help more listeners discover the show. And while you're at it, sign up for our newsletter at timelessdesignsbymelissa.com to have every episode and other design-related items delivered directly to your inbox. Looking for more resources? Download our complimentary guide, How to Hire the Right Interior Designer, on our website to ensure your next project is a success. Stay connected with us on social media. Follow Timeless Designs by Melissa on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube for behind-the-scenes content, design tips, and so much more. If you're ready to start your own design journey or have questions, reach out to us at concierge@timelessdesignsbymelissa.com. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks again for joining us on a Well-Designed Home podcast. Until next time, here's to making every space a timeless reflection of you.